to be here this evening. And I must start by saying congratulations to our very own Brown Hill cricket team that won the championship this past weekend. Brown Hill, big, yes. Allow me to adopt the protocol so it be established. Safe to acknowledge our former Premier, Mr. Parry, who is here, and our other former elected representatives. Now I said that this is a momentous occasion. And why is that so? I stand here this evening proud as a Brown Hillian, growing up here in Brown Hill, going to the Ivor Waters Primary School with my good friend, Dr. Bartlett. We went to high school together, different grades, different forms, but we did go to school at the same time. And so I'm quite pleased to be here in Brown Hill tonight to endorse and recommend Dr. Patricia Bartlett as the next candidate for St. John's constituency 2. Now, from very early on, anyone who knew Pat knew that she was a very independent-minded person. Some would say that she had this quiet power about her. And even before she would open her mouth to speak, you would feel her presence in the room. Now, one would understand and know that Pat is someone who does not, as they say, mince her words. She speaks her mind with no reservations whatsoever. And she fiercely defends equality and proudly proclaims the importance of respect, fairness, integrity, and humility. These are core values which, if you know Pat, you will know that these are the essence of her identity. Pat is not afraid to enter uncharted territory. You would have heard tonight about her various entrepreneurial undertakings, and this has to do with her fundamental love for helping not only herself, but for helping those around her. Having worked in the civil service for over 40 years, Dr. Bartlett has seen firsthand the challenges of trying to fit square pegs in round holes. She understands the challenges of having antiquated policies that create more confusion rather than facilitating solutions. She understands that we all suffer when the government lacks transparency and decisions are made at the discretion of ministers rather by the rule of law. Dr. Bartlett understands that ministers are elected to work for you and I. They are elected to put policies and laws in place to help make our lives better, not to make life easier for themselves and their friends who gather around them. We cannot sit back. Yes. Allow me to recognize Honorable Roberto Hector. One cannot sit back and just look at widening gaps of inequalities in Nevis and do nothing about it. You, the people in St. John's, have the power of choice, and you must be courageous and take that bold step to be on the right side of history. Because if we are hoping for a brighter future, not just in St. John's, not just in St. Paul's, but in Nevis and in the entire country, then change must come to Nevis, and that change must come by changing the government and electing Dr. Patricia Bartlett right here in St. John's. Now, Dr. Bartlett, if you know her, understands, as most of us in NRP would do, that it is the responsibility of government to provide employment opportunities, not just for a few people, not just for a few friends, but for all the people in Nevis. We must have just and fair government, where each one of us has an equal opportunity to get work. where our children have equal opportunities to get scholarships and to get houses and to have a decent life. We must have a government that believes in inclusivity and believes in integrity and believes in institutional building. This is what Dr. Patricia Bartlett believes in, and this is why she is the Nevis Reformation Party candidate for constituency number 2. And this is why you will make the right choice and vote for Dr. Patricia Bartlett to be your next representative. NRP is still the only party that puts the interests of our people at the front and center of our actions. We understand the significance of creating new and progressive ordinances that would appeal to investors and help create employment opportunities for our people. We know that under the NRP, investors came to Nevis. They did not stay offshore. Right in Brownhill, the Brownhill Communications Company was established. Under the NRP, businesses came to Nevis. What do we see happening under this administration? We see businesses leaving Nevis. To set Nevis back on the path of opportunities and prosperity, after years of neglect and poor representation, requires a renewed vision. It requires empathy, and it requires hard work. The good news is that your newly transformed NRP, rich with experience and know-how, can deliver on our promises to bring positive change to Nevis. And that is why we say, change must come. We know that Dr. Bartlett will give the constituents of St. John's Parish not 50% representation. Dr. Bartlett will give 100% representation, and she will work for your best interest. She will work for your best interest, not for her own interest, and not for the best interest, again, of a few close friends. You see, it is always important to understand why someone enters the political arena. For some, it is for power, or fame, or fortune, but for some, it is to help create a better life for others. Dr. Bartlett could have decided to relax at home and enjoy her private life. But when someone has a conscience, when someone has a conscience, I said when someone has a conscience and genuinely cares for the well-being of others, when someone cannot turn a blind eye to a struggling brother or sister, when someone cannot sleep at night because they can hear the voices of despair over and over again, it is very difficult to sit back and do nothing. And it's because of this caring why Dr. Bartlett is your candidate for the St. John's constituency. My St. John's people, and I own you, yes, as much as I own all of these people, we need a government that cares. We need a government that cares. And if we're going to have a government that cares, what must happen? Change must come. Change must come. We need a caring and hard-working government to provide better job opportunities, better educational opportunities, better governance, and a government that believes in performance. Why? Because performance matters. We need a government that believes in performance because what? Performance matters. It mattered before, it always will matter. Now we know, I know, my colleagues sitting here, that the political arena is not a walk in the park. It is not a walk in the park for men, and definitely not for women. Many want to help, but do not have the courage to step forward. Why? Because they fear the victimization, not only for themselves. At one time, people were fearful for their own self. Now people are fearful for their children, for their wives, for their brothers, sisters. The victimization has gotten to such a low where persons are concerned about taking that step forward, about being courageous. But Dr. Bartlett has summed up the courage, and she has stepped forward. She has stepped forward at this time when we know it is not easy. It is not easy. NRP has been in opposition for a long time, and we know a number of people. If NRP had been in power, they would be flocking to be representatives of the party. But that is why you need the courage and strength and determination of the women that you see here tonight, because we are the ones who are going to bring the change. We are the ones that are going to bring the change. Allow me to pause for a minute and acknowledge our St. Paul's constituency representative, Ms. Jane Kane. Now we know that there is quite a lot of excitement, and people are looking to see what is NRP going to bring with the experiences, the diverse perspectives, and the new ideas that we have in a new and revised NRP. We say that the expansion of our economic pillars that were established on the NRP during the first 50 years is long overdue. The expansion of our economic pillars are long overdue. We have been operating on the tourism and financial services sector for the last 50 years without the diversity and the expansion that we need in order to have a sustainable economy in Nevis. I said to you that change must come, and we will move forward to diversify our economy with progressive legislation, exploit the blue-green intellectual and heritage economy frameworks, and unlock a wealth of opportunities for job creation, renewable energy, food security, biodiversity conservation, and niche markets in agriculture and manufacturing. It will be our priority, your new NRP government's priority, to ensure that we expand and create new equitable job opportunities and educational opportunities right here in Nevis. For too long we have had to be what? We have gone from queens, as Honorable P.O. Stapleton said, to being servants, to be mendicants, where we have to be at the mercy of the federal government in order to determine our own destiny. That is not what NRP was created for. NRP was created to help bring your self-determination to the people of Nevis. We have the resilience, we have what it takes in order to fight for ourselves, in order to develop our own economy. And of course, there is a responsibility from the federal government to provide financing, and that ought to be gravy on our rice. Not the only thing that we have to look forward to. So we can start a journey of rebuilding a better Nevis, where our people are uplifted, men and women equally, where our youth have hopes of a brighter future. And I say to you that we must begin to imagine a better Nevis. We must begin to imagine it. We have to imagine it, and then we work towards it. Because at the end of the day, if we feel that all that there is for us is what we're seeing right now, then we have a problem. So we know what NRP stands for. We know what NRP has done before. We know what NRP is capable of doing. We have never had a majority women NRP leadership, and we are confident that with this new NRP party, you understand, women do not like to lose. Women do not like to lose. And we are convinced that with the support of all of our party members, we will change the government and bring peace, progress, and prosperity back to Nevis. We say over and over again, change must come. We must bring change back to Nevis. Thank you, everyone.